Good morning. Good morning. Jabba Delight will uplift you. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Grab your coffee. Stay tuned. This show is about to begin.
Okay, well, we got the invisible Brandon Croucher in the background there. So we'll take him out while he's getting organized to be back on the show here. And it'll be Ilse, the Queen of South Africa, here with us today as we launch Wellness Wednesday. Yeah?
I am so into Wellness Wednesday. I've got my yoga clothes on, so get ready.
Whoa, yoga clothes and ready to goes.
Telling you, today we are exercising. I hope not, but I'm ready if we do. Either way, we're just going to have to face what's coming.
Well,
how is your morning been? You just started now.
Yeah, my morning actually started with a weird ass dream where I was in Hawaii in a Marriott hotel at a conference kind of, and my girlfriend was there with me, but not in the hotel. Okay. And then we had this massive earthquake where literally it was like I was with some guys who were like, had lived there, and it was like this, they said the island started spinning. And they're like, if it spins more than once, it's like really bad. It spun 3 times. And for some reason, part of the building we were in didn't fall down. But when we got outside, the rest of the building was gone. And I started to try to find my girlfriend, and I realized I left my cell phone somewhere, and I was going to go back in the building to get it, and then I woke up and I was like, holy shit, what kind of a dream is that?
Did you try and search what it means?
No, I did not. I just tried to wake up so I didn't have to think about it anymore.
So I don't have to look for my cell phone.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I found my cell phone. That's a good thing. Now I'm a little bit more grounded. It was weird. So, yeah, I don't like waking up to those kind of dreams. And I rarely remember my dreams to begin with. But that one was the one that woke me up. And it was about a half an hour before my alarm was going to go off. And I was like, oh, now I'm awake.
Thank goodness I'm awake and off the island.
Yeah, and off the island. Exactly. So how about your morning? How has it been? Well, your day is almost completely done.
I signed some divorce papers today, so I'm very happy.
Wow, congratulations.
We've got one signature on this divorce papers, and it's mine. So it's like half a celebration.
And the only one you can control.
Exactly. So I've controlled myself and I've signed. Let's hope I can mind control him to just sign and not be difficult. It is everything that he wanted. Everything is in there, and I've got my rights as a mother. That's all I wanted is having rights as a mother to my child, because I'm not the only person that's getting divorced. I mean, it happens often, but I don't think I should be punished for that. So that is what I've been fighting for, and that is in the divorce letter, and that is why I signed. The rest of the stuff is just earthly stuff. I do not care about it in any case. Hey, Jaybird.
Morning,
Jaybird hooked me up. He hooked me up with Bitcoin and donut money. Donut and coffee money.
Oh, donut and coffee money.
Thanks, Jaybird. Shout out to Jaybird.
I was going to say, Brandon's donut money, that would be like a massive amount.
Mm-hmm. There's never enough.
I want his donut money as well. I shouldn't do that. My arms are jiggly.
Well, now you know what to focus on today. Oh, that's funny. So, Brett Gordon's having dreams of islands spinning, and I was confused as hell. Like, why, Brett, are you safe? What does this mean? Your world is spinning upside down and shaking at the same time.
Well, yeah, I guess that's kind of true, you know, with everything that has kind of transpired over the past 2 weeks. It has gotten to be a point where, you know, the world is definitely going to be changing, and heading up to South Dakota and things along those lines is something that logically, and normally in my life, I always think logically. I always move based on logic. And while I was up there this time, I was working with some spiritual people, and they were like, how do you feel about, or what is your feeling about where you should be? And I was like, I feel like I should be here. And she said, well, then follow that feeling. And don't let your logic start to come in and try to override your feeling, because your body and your body mind is far stronger and more intuitive than your brain.
When you say here, you meant South Dakota, not where you're sitting in Vegas.
Correct.
Just making sure.
I was actually in the mineral waters, the hot springs, at the time that we're having this discussion, which also
that's not like fair.
A real grounding experience. So when you're talking from a grounded position, it even makes it more powerful.
It does make it.
I was going to say how it's not fair. Like, that's like going to Disney World and having Mickey Mouse like jerk you off and be like, live with us here in Disney World. It's like, while he's jerking you off, he's like, come here. Like, no, we don't want any of that stuff.
I did not see that coming.
I know. I had to think of something. I was going to use like a fiance or like someone you like just met, and then I'm like, no, Mickey Mouse is way funnier. Like, I'm gonna run with this one. But like, for real, think about it. You're on vacation, and the most epic part of the vacation is being the grounded part in the salt water or in the hot spring.
Mineral water. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you're telling me that your greatest part of the whole trip and needing to be there is when you're getting the most pleasure. Like, that's where I think it's the hardest time to actually know that it's the right thing. It's like when you get back home is when you're starting to really like see, okay, but I also know you, and I know this really has been something you've been weighing on. And this has been a decision that's been really hard for you to make sure you make the right one. And you know you are. That's where I want to go with that is I make a joke. I make Mickey Mouse sound really perverted. That's what he says right before you go. Sorry.
Jaybird's right. You know, these are all the things that the group that we're with is actually thinking of doing too. You know, there's going to be sweat lodges. There's going to be leadership immersive academy.
You can't tell us about child sweat lodges and how you're going to be the new Nike. Like, good Lord, don't do that, Brett.
No, that's you, Mr. Brandon.
I don't have sweat lodges. I teach kids at a young age that it's their choice to work.
So you're gonna want to do this, and you want to start early.
Look, when are you going to use addition in life? You're not. You don't need multiplication. Come work for me and fill little packets of CBD. Good morning, guys. I see Kevin. I see Jaybird. I see Mandy. I see, CK. Good morning, all the Lights Cafe family. Happy Wednesday morning. You look good in yellow, B. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Britt. I am in a hotel right outside of Dallas. I'm not far from Waco, Texas right now. Don't worry, I'm not going to stop and join the cult.
Why not?
Do you know about
the Branch Davidians?
Tell me
Good
more.
morning, my delightful friends. Do you not know about Waco, Texas?
I do not, so please enlighten me.
Maybe how do I?
Maybe that's on my bucket list. Just enlighten me, please.
David Koresh and the Branch Davidians.
I need to make sure I'm mean to you from now on because she was nice and gave me my first compliment. Okay, so Waco, Texas is a spot where there was a religious group that was there, and they were following their stuff, and the town deemed that they were not. They were a cult. That's the best way to describe it. And when they refused to come out and submit to what the police were saying, there was no evidence of them doing anything wrong, apparently. There were kids involved, and that's why the state felt they needed. Yes. Boom. And he was the cult leader. And the thing that was interesting about that cult is that it's not the cult that was the issue. It's not the thing that they were doing. It's not that they were even doing anything to kids. It's the fact that there were kids involved and the state said it was inappropriate. And then next thing you know on the news, the building's on fire and the police are like pushing parts of the building down. It was a very, very, very serious thing. And it was in the 90s, and it was when they started pushing that there's police brutality going on and people going against what are really being said and not putting human lives ahead of things, ahead of that. They had an entire stockpile of weapons and no contact with the outside world. And that's
there were, and I can't go back to the proof of all this, but there was definitely a lot of misogyny. There was a lot of abuse, or many women were basically slaves and sex slaves to David Koresh, and the children were kind of involved in one way or another. There was a lot of things going on, and a few of the people that had, I think, left the cult actually started to inform the outside world of what was happening. So that was why they were trying to go in and
correct
and basically save the kids.
And I am not justifying the cult in any way. Please do not think that's anything in any direction where I'm going.
Joke's a joke, but that's not something that the one cult that I know about is the Charles Manson cult.
Yeah.
But isn't religion just the same? Also just a different name? Religion, cult, same thing. People are also slaves in their lives.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
And abuse them and whatever, and just because they're married to them, then they must just take it.
There's a lot of people that live out there that
what you're saying in general, yes, that organized religion tends to do that.
Yeah,
not just
anything that has too many rules. Anything that has too many rules, and you're not allowed to do this, and you're not allowed to do that, and you're not allowed to do that, it's not a good thing. Especially
when a lot of it is interpretation.
Like what we do here. Brett, I want you to think for a second. I asked Ilse a question right before you came on. Okay, good job. Get that brain going. Get it. Oh, Brett, he's shaking. He's so nervous. Brett, so what is something you can say through the drive-through that could be taken dirty? So like Ilse and I were talking this morning, and she goes, "Ooh, can I get the big sausage?" And so what can you say going through the drive-through?
I said a lot of other things as well, not just big sausage, but that's the one that you decide to go with.
We were having so much fun. We're like reading the bio this morning. We're talking and catching up, and we're getting everything ready. And then I have my eggs and my sausage from the hotel in front of me, and I go, what sounds dirty that could go through a drive-through line? And she just shouts things out at me, and I was cracking up. I was like, those are good. Those are
Well,
good.
if you're like at a chicken place, which is better, your breasts or your thighs?
That's a good question.
That's a good one.
I'm a breast person then. Maybe I'm a dude.
Maybe I'm a dude. Big size with special sauce on it. LOL. Like, yeah. Do you want the McDonald's special sauce? Like, oh my God. So I think that's a very good conversation piece, though, Brett. I really do. There's a lot of things that are going on with your move to just life in general and people being out there.
Yay! Me and Sherry's in the same WhatsApp group.
You know what? I'm going to have fun with this. Let's just turn this for a second to the other part of where we were going to go. Ilse, you have gone your first entire week, and this is our first Wow Wednesday. Whip 'em out Wednesdays. But it is not a thing of like just being like, ah, or anything like that, okay? It is meant to be. Brett didn't even see it.
You won't even see them in the camera. They're not that tired.
Mine?
They'll disappear. You won't see them in any case if I lift up my shirt.
Let me gravy your biscuits. Oh my God. Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes. Throw the damn beads. Throw the beads. Damn phone is pissing me off. I don't get that one. What does damn phone pissing me off have to do with going through the drive-thru? Like, I want to know why you're. Hello, the beautiful Brit. I love that. I love it. So I ask you, Ilse, it has been 1 week. You have been free as a bird. And yesterday you explained to us how it was a little intimidating going into public. It was, you felt the anxiety in your own head, but it's been a week now. Today is your first Wednesday of 7 days, no bra. How are you feeling?
I am feeling unsupported. No, I'm just joking. Just not hardwired.
I just need a pick me up.
I must say that I actually felt very empowering signing divorce papers with any underwear. And thinking, if that man can see me now, he'll have a heart attack and I'll just get everything.
I'm like not sure where you were going to go with that. Then you're like, oh God. Was he sitting in the room when you signed it?
No, I don't go in the same room with that guy.
My divorce, we had to sign the papers separately and then be in the courtroom together with the judge. And then they turn around after that and had us go down into the basement of this courtroom and sit and wait for them to stamp it. And her and I had to sit there I'm all by myself during my divorce. All by myself. Okay? She has mom, sisters, friends, all these people, and they're all sitting there across the room.
Do you want a piece of this?
Were they wearing the same color dresses and everything?
You want a piece?
Oh my gosh. Like, for real, like, it was one of those things where it's so intimidating, and you know that's what they're going for, that when I walked out to my car, I took a deep breath, sat down, and I just cried. Because it was like, you were so adamant that I was wrong for you, and that you wanted to run away, that you needed to have that many people as your backup, and I'm sitting here alone. That sucked. But it also didn't, because it made me stronger. Team no bra. Team no bra.
The signing divorce papers or going through a divorce, even if it's with a decade, it still hurts, because I did not think that at the age of 4 months shy from my 40th birthday, I will not be wearing a bra while signing my divorce papers. I mean, that never crossed my mind. Having three children, not being married, being financially unstable, mentally unstable, physically unstable because I don't even wear underwear anymore.
But that's like a totally freeing experience.
Say again.
It's a totally freeing experience. You freed the body, you freed the mind,
you freed the tatas, as Brad says. But the thing is,
some interesting facts. I've got some interesting facts about. Where's my book? Let me just find.
I'm just going to leave this comment right here the rest of the show.
I never wear underwear. I will not waste my money on that stuff ever again. I'm sorry. Got something else better to do than that. I've got some interesting facts.
I literally don't think anyone in history has ever had the thought, when I get divorced, I'm not wearing a bra, damn it. Think about how awesome that would be.
Like, for everything.
Oh, my husband, maybe because you need to take the bra off, Mandy. Take the bra off, say, I'm bra free since 83, and then walk downstairs and go get that paper signed. I don't know walk downstairs. I just mean like go get it done. Like I mean that.
Dramatic walk downstairs.
Like you're just like you're down the stairs, sign. Okay, I'm divorced. Back upstairs.
If it was only that easy.
All right, Ilse, you were going to teach us about your why and facts that bras cause breast cancer.
So there's some fun facts that I've got here. This is just some facts about breast cancer, first of all, that I don't think a lot of people know. Breast cancer is the most common cancer for women worldwide. 1 out of 8 women receive cancer diagnosis. On average, every 2 minutes, a female is diagnosed with breast cancer. Estimated 2,470 men will be diagnosed with breast cancer. 1 in every 1,000 men can get breast cancer.
Breast cancer?
Only 5 to 10% of individuals diagnosed with breast cancer has got it from a family. It runs in the family, and only 5 to 10%. The rest is all wearing bras or tight clothes.
Time out. I want to make sure we get these statistics correctly. First off, it's breast cancer, not breast cancer. Breast cancer.
Cancer.
Yeah, it's
breast
not
cancer.
breast cancer. Breast cancer is when he doesn't answer his phone, and all of us are getting upset. Like, where's Brad? But he lives elsewhere now, Brandon. I kicked him out. I remember you kicking him out and how proud I am of you of making that place yours. Now, the fact that he can't sign it, truth be told, it shows how much he still wants to be a part of you, Mandy.
Or control you.
But that's what I said to my lawyer. I said, it's abuse because it's the last little bit of control that this man has over me, or he thinks he has, because I've never listened to him in any case.
What a surprise.
You submit to people that are worth submitting to. If you can't submit to
I agree.
to yourself, and if you can't even control your own urges, how do you want to tell me where I must be and how I must be in a relationship? I'm sorry.
But I
said to the lawyer, I said, it's taken me 3 years. It's been a 12.5-year journey. Or 11.5-year journey, which 3 of them I've been fighting to get divorced, and the rest I've just been fighting for my worth. I said, when do I ever stop fighting? So my lawyer turns around and says, but why do you allow yourself getting abused? So needless to say, my lawyer is not my best friend anymore because I gave him a piece of my mind because no woman allows this.
I would have said, why aren't you finishing up the lawsuit so this could be done? Why aren't you pushing it in a different way?
Job? Exactly.
Like, I don't, whatever.
There was a fight about money, which he doesn't even have. So I don't know how he wants me to take his money if all he has is a house that he's living in. I mean, you're not Oppenheimer that you've got millions that you have to share
Oppenheimer.
with me.
I like how
that's
she
the-
pulled
the
Oppenheimer.
only one
Of all the rich people in the world to pick, Oppenheimer's the one she goes with.
But you know a bad thing. But in any case, this was the first. I've gotten 2 drafts of this divorce papers, and this was the first one that actually was worth something the paper that it was typed on. So that's why we signed. So please, everybody, put it out there. Just let this man sign. It's all we want. All we want.
So, 112 patients pass away every day from stage 4 breast cancer. I think that's something that needs to be pointed out. It's veterans. We talk about suicide rate and how 22 veterans a day commit suicide, but breast cancer is a very serious thing. And that's why we wanted to do this on Wednesdays. We wanted to focus on Whip them out Wednesdays is a fun little jokey way of saying it. But the truth is, it's getting them out and being able to have them be there for you, having it be where you're getting the health and knowing the benefits of it. As Ilse just said, she read us some statistics about how it is the highest cause of what's causing breast cancer. It is go ahead, hit them again, Ilse. Brett, do you want me to pull you to the back, buddy? I see you looking.
Well, what I was going to say is one of the things that to be aware of is how deodorant actually, not deodorant, but antiperspirant is been linked to breast cancer because of the aluminum that's in the antiperspirant. And for men and for women, you really shouldn't be using like deodorants or especially antiperspirants. So many years ago, actually back when I was in Fiji at Tony Robbins Life Mastery, is when I changed to just using the natural salts that you can get, salt sticks that you can use in order to counteract your body's, smell so that you don't smell. But the aluminum in antiperspirants it has been linked to breast cancer. So, my suggestion is that as a minimum, go to deodorant as opposed to antiperspirant. And even better would be to go to natural salts, which have been used in countries around the world for centuries to counteract your body's smell.
Do you have an all-natural product that you actually recommend? Because I think that's a thing that a lot of people don't realize is how important it is to know your products that you're putting on. I have to use a few of them out there.
Tom's is one organic brand, kind of a natural brand. There's I use a different one that's kind of a Thai salt. It's just a salt stick that has a container, and you get it wet and you just put it under your arms. And the nice thing about that I found is that after your body has gotten used to that, you can go for days even without it and not have an odor because your body is just naturally kind of gotten
that's
balanced.
what I wanted to ask now, because I'm very self-conscious about smelling like sweat. I on a regular basis have it's not me. So do you not smell that at all, or do you not smell at all like sweat or anything when you use the natural product?
No, if you use it and you use it consistently, you really don't have a smell. Because your perspiration smells based on kind of your emotions as well. So when you're under high stress, your sweat smells more than if you're just exercising kind of sweat. So there's a big difference in the type of sweat. So if you're also more congruent and not as stressed out, you're not going to have that same odor that that ammonia odor that you tend to have, and that's offensive. But the salts really help to counteract that, and it's a much safer product to use than any of the antiperspirants out there for sure.
Really, I have to be honest. I've heard. We have little issues with smelly, wet feet. With smelly, wet wheat. That's since becoming plant-based. Smelly sweat, I'm betting, is what it's supposed to say. Smelly sweat.
Right. And there's no doubt your diet also has to do with it. And, having more of an animal-based diet does tend to have a number of different odor-based byproducts, like your poop smells more. Go and try to smell like a lion's poop. It's pretty powerful.
The lion will bite you. Do not do that.
Well, don't get it that fresh.
Do not go smell a lion.
Don't follow the lion around.
I'm from South Africa. Lions are dangerous.
But if your diet has a lot to do with it, but your emotions have a tremendous amount to do with it, and there are alternate ways to counteract that smell that are healthier.
Good link. There we go. Do you know who that is?
That is Kuti. I sent him a link on Instagram.
I was going to say, I thought he was on the email too. Elsa, Brett, you guys say hi to everybody and tell everybody more about Brett.
Okay, but then I've got one more, and this is the statistic that always hits me the hardest when they put time on something, so you can actually realize how fast or how often something happens in a day. So it says here, one woman every 13 minutes dies from breast cancer. I mean, that's horrible. That is really horrible. So we're all for free the boobies. Ladies, if you've done that, I'm very, very proud of you. It's not easy. I'm there for you. I'm going to load some more TikToks. I've got some more queens joining us in saving the breast because they're endangered.
Oh, well, it's true. And then you've got so many other things that are going on out there, especially when you start talking to, some of the specialists in breast cancer. A lot of them also, have a certain tool that they use, mastectomy, things along those lines, that then are promoted when that doesn't have to be the only choice that you have available to you or the best choice. And a lot of it also has to do, and I'm sure Jessica could chime in here, but if you change your diet, oftentimes you can actually reverse cancer. So, going with more alkaline body, more alkaline foods, those types of things, because cancer thrives in an acidic environment, which tends to be one where if you're very highly stressed, you open your body up more to the expression of cancer. And I know my sister, she's gone through and had a radical double mastectomy, but a big part, I believe, of her even getting it is the amount of stress that she carried and anger and things along those lines, which just allow then your body to express cancer, which everybody's body does carry cancer. Your immune system, especially a balanced immune system, tends to take care of that. And if you can maintain a healthier mental state as well as healthier foods, you're going to help your body to overcome the cancer, and you won't express it. And that's really where I think we're at today. We live in such a highly stressed environment with a lot of things that are going on around us, that a lot of these diseases that we're seeing people succumb to are primarily due to our mental state and our emotional state, which has then had a biochemical reaction in our body, which allows these things to overcome our immune system rather than our immune system overcoming those diseases.
I agree. Very well said, Brett. So, Brett, guess what? I got a present right before I left to go down here and get to Texas. It will be there when I get back. And you know why it's something I'm excited about?
Because it's a Kuti juice machine?
How did you know? Kuti!
Man, that's a way to get introduced, man.
Right? So, Brett, sorry, I thought I hit that already. I'm sorry, buddy, not being rude. Ilse, why are you stealing Kuti's stage? Oh my gosh, just kidding. So,
I've been
Kuti,
have it for a little while.
Kuti, I actually have a juicer. So, my dad has been. All right, I watched an episode with that one guy, like Cooties, and I'm like,
One guy.
One guy, multiple cooties, right?
One guy.
right? And I'm like, okay, Dad. I'm like, all right. And he goes, well, what do you know about this juicing stuff? And we got into a really good, long conversation where I'm like Googling things and like, hey, this is what we talked about. This is what Kuti was teaching us. And he was like, so my dad's going to be 70 next St. Patrick's Day.
Amen.
And he is starting to worry about his weight. He is wanting to exercise. And he exercises, but it's all physical. He doesn't do the mental part, which we talk about. And then the diet is he drives a lot. So he's always eating crap. So I think Ilse and I were talking before the show about I'm man-straighting right now. So I'm really wanting my chocolates and donuts. And it's one of those things where and then I'm on the road this week with the combination of both. It's like, it's hard. Yesterday, I wanted an actual meal, not something deep fried and fast food. And I couldn't find it. And I was going nuts. And then Jessica's like, I'm sending you Happy Cow links. And I'm like, please do, because I want that. And it was unfortunately 11 o'clock by the time I stopped. But like, Kuti, help us be able to know, because now I have a juicer coming. I'm going to be juicing. You're going to be like, you're in my head. You're in my heart now. I'm going to be moving into your place just because I want to. Sorry if that doesn't work. Guess what? It's coming anyways.
Bedroom.
I love it. That's a great attitude on it. So
I'm here to help, man. I'm here to help. And really, now that you have a juicer and Ilse knows how to read the labels on the juices that she's buying from the stores, we're going to come back in a short while and see what it's really like to really go through this juicing journey. And if you have any questions in the interim, as always, just hit me up.
So I do have one right off the bat that I've been given. Right off the bat. I hope you're ready, because I've been doing a lot of healthy eating, but the eating is not the same as the juicing. And I was grinding it up and stuff like that, like we talked about last time you were here. And my dad goes, well, why don't you just go buy a juicer? And I'm like, honestly, I want to, but I have a company I'm running. I have people I'm paying. Sometimes the money's just not right there. He goes, oh. So I did these side jobs for people. And then all of a sudden he goes, I'm going to buy you a juicer because you help my friends out. And I'm like, wait, really? And he's like, yeah. So he bought this nice juicer. But he goes, the deal is you have to juice for me too. And he has some stomach issues where he has, and I'm not trying to be too much for anybody, but he's clogged and he needs to be able to get that out. And he's like, do you think your guy could help me? And I'm like, I guarantee Kuti will get this out of you. Oh, for sure. I go, you've been full of shit for years, Dad. Now it's time to push it out.
Your poop come out.
So talk to us, Kuti. Now that I'm juicing, I've got it going. My goal is to get the tan going, and I look like you in the next 2 weeks.
All right. Oh, you're halfway there.
I'm halfway there. So you are here to teach us today, and you always come with a spark, with the knowledge, with the love. And Ilse and I both put our workout clothes on. I got my fighter that wears my brand. I'm wearing his brand to work out in today. We're ready, buddy. Teach us and make us the best version of ourselves.
All right. So first and foremost, I applaud you for getting your juicer. Ilse, even when you got it not so right last time, the fact that you even took a step forward towards it by going to the store and buying something that was green in a bottle is a step forward. And then you
I've
learn.
not done that. The labels just put me off. I read it and I'm like, this is
Okay.
so bad for me. Let me just put it down.
Okay, no problem. No problem. So we got to get you a juicer next. All right.
Please.
So here's the deal. Number one, when you're juicing, let's keep it simple to start. A lot of times when people want to juice, what they want to do is juice the whole garden, and that makes it a cumbersome process. It makes them think too hard when they're shopping. It makes them think too much about economics when they're shopping, and it also makes it arduous when you got to cut and clean and wash all these different things. So let's start simple. The simplest BYBD basic recipe that still gets the job done is spinach and cucumber. All right. If you're juicing for your dad, my juicer, the containers actually have measurements of how many fluid ounces you're juicing. I'm not sure if yours does, but if you're juicing, what you want to make sure that you get is at least somewhere around 10 ounces a serving. So if you're juicing for you and your dad, and you're juicing for the day, you would want to be juicing about 32 to 40 ounces worth, split that 4 ways. So you have one for first thing in the morning within 90 minutes of waking up. You have another one anytime throughout the course of the day. For me, juicing gives me this energy kick. That's not really a crazy kick like caffeine, but it's one that I try to wind down before I go to sleep. So I don't really want my mind going a zillion different places, even if it's positive energy. So for me, I tend to try to have that second juice at least an hour before I start to turn down. It's not necessarily mandatory. I've had some clients where they juice right before they go to bed. They have zero problem with it because you will sleep better as well as have energy. So it's an odd thing, but you just have good energy, whether it's resting or active wise. So cucumber and spinach is the easy way. I typically do not recommend juicing fruit because eat your fruit. If you juice your fruit, you're going to get the sugar from the fruit straight to your bloodstream as quickly as the nutrition. And because we're sugar addicts, when you're addicted to something, the first thing your body's going to recognize is what you're addicted to, not the good stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you're, I don't know, if you're I don't criminalize activities, but let's say if you're a porn addict and you have a bunch of porn stars in front of you and a preacher behind them, you're going to see the porn stars. Get it?
Yep.
Makes sense. Yep. So that's the thing. You want to give your body the preacher, not the porn star. Okay. So no diss the porn stars. God bless you too. But you get my point. So what I'm saying is you want to give yourself that nutrition. But if indeed, and again, spinach and cucumber is a very mild taste. You'll know you're drinking something green, but it's not going to taste super veggie. But let's just say it doesn't work for you. I have a client right now that I'm trying to walk through the juicing process, and she's actually struggling with the basic taste of this basic composition I gave you. Get some fresh mint leaves if you like mint, and throw those in there too, because that'll kind of permeate the taste. Or this is the rare exception where I allow you to juice fruit. Get a lime, peel the lime, and throw the lime in there too. The lime won't have any adverse effect on your results. You'll still get vitamin C from it, and it doesn't have a bunch of sugar. That's why limes and lemons are bitter. So I'll look the other way if you juice a lime along with your cucumber and spinach. So that's your recipe. That's you and Dad's recipe. Okay. Ilse take notes as well, so you can be ready to rock with it.
I got that notes. I do have them. I took notes the first time. Didn't listen, but I took notes.
Hey, it's okay. It's a start. It's a start. If I get one of you, then I got half.
You got me. You got me. I got a juicer.
Every Wednesday we're closer than we were 2 Wednesdays ago.
And that's before you can run a marathon, you got to run 2 steps.
Correct.
So, and while I'm talking about quantities, before I forget too, Brett said some really amazingly great things. So I want to amen him. I was watching him from the green room. That dude said some amazing things. And what I want to give everybody while I'm thinking about it, if you are watching this show, freebie from me, all you got to do is go online, go to bybdfitness.com/de-stress, DESTRESS. I've got 6 of my favorite super moves that in 60 seconds or less, each of them are guaranteed in one way or another to make you stress less. So bybdfitness.com/de-stress, because he's talking the truth. And this is one of the easiest ways you can prevent yourself from getting sick. Whether it's a virus, a cold, or even cancer, like he talked about, he was right. These 6 methods will help you de-stress in 60 seconds or less. So I just want to get that because he said that. And I was like, you know what? Let me just give that while to just back up his point. So back to us, what you don't count, like my mom always tells me, you can't change what you can't count. So another tip when you're starting to juice is keep track of what you're doing. Keep track of when you do it. Keep track of how you're feeling. A lot of times people like to run away from stats. They like to run away from the scale. They like to run away. They don't want to see their weight. Understand the scale is not a machine that means you any harm. Understand this too. A scale is not the absolute truth. It's not your absolute truth. Understand that even if me, Mr. BYBD himself, laid 10 scales side by side, and I've done this before at a department store just to test this theory out. I got 4 or 5 different scales, put them on the floor and stood on them. And all 4 of them told me 4 different things.
Were they close at all or no?
One was way off, and then the other 3 were sort of close. Now, my point is simply this. All it is a measurement. All you need is whatever that measurement to be consistent in terms of when you're doing it, what you're doing it on, and make sure that your move from whatever the number you saw the first time is going in the direction that you want it to go in. I'll give you even a better thing. Your pounds are a great entry level statistic. Your weight is a great entry level statistic in terms of measuring how healthy you are, but it truly has no bearing, no real legitimate bearing when you really get to the nitty gritty into how healthy you really are. I'll give you an example. My father, when he had a health incident in 2019, almost died 4 times. I spent the whole year trying to keep him alive. Succeeded. He's healthy now, thank God. But my point is this. There was a point in time where that man was weighing 96 pounds. He currently weighs about 150. Now, he wasn't in the hospital at 96 pounds talking about, whoo, look at me. I shed 60 pounds, baby. He was as unhealthy as it got.
Right.
But he weighed less. You get it? So you can lose weight a bunch of different ways. Crystal meth, disease. You can lose weight, starvation, but it doesn't mean that you're healthy. The number that really will tell you, the statistic that will really tell you how healthy you are or are not, is your body fat percentage. And most scales these days are digital. Most digital scales, I'm talking your garden variety digital scale that you can get on Amazon. It's going to run you $20 to $40, and it'll give you more than your weight. It'll give you a whole bunch of numbers. The 2 numbers that mean the most, your weight initially, your body fat percentage more specifically. If your body fat percentage is going down 0.5% on average a week, you're going in the right direction. If your weight is going down, if weight loss is your goal and your weight is going down 2 pounds a week on average, you're going in the right direction. But pay attention to your body fat percentage, because theoretically, if you were to stay the same weight for the rest of your life, but your body fat percentage was ticking downward with regularity, anything you're looking for in terms of the way you see yourself, anything you're looking for in terms of the way you feel, anything you're looking for in terms of the results that your doctor would want to say, man, you're getting healthier, they would all start to manifest. So again, track your body fat percentage. Your weight is cool too, don't get me wrong, but your body fat percentage is really the number you want to pay attention to. Most of these scales will give you that number. And on top of that, they give you an app so you can actually just pull it up, and it'll be nice, bright colors with graphs and everything. So you can see how your weight is actually trending, how your body fat's actually trending. So use these things to your advantage.
Is there a specific app that you use that the guys can use? And then I've got 2 other questions as well. Being on that time of the month, or almost on that time of the month, my cravings, I just want to eat everything that moves. And if it doesn't move, I want to kick it till it moves and then eat it. I'm like, seriously?
Absolutely understand it.
Like a whole week. It's not one day. It's like a whole week.
Oh, yeah. I mean, pre, during, and post. I have nothing but respect for women, because what y'all go through on a regular cyclical basis. I mean, I got a daughter. I'm just watching her grow. And how her body's changing, and how it's on Front Street for everybody, whether it's, how you're feeling, how you look, man, props to women. My point, I would say this to answer both questions. I right now, I don't have a specific app that I would push to anybody. As long as that app, again, just like I don't have a scale to push to anybody, as long as that app or that scale is the app or scale that you're using, use it and make sure that you're tracking your numbers and make sure your numbers are moving in the right direction. All right. Now, as far as cycles is another reason why I admire women. Y'all have to be aware of your hormones way more than we do. You know, B just said earlier how he was talking about how he was menstruating, and we kind of kiki about that. But it's like men get affected by hormones too. It's just not on Front Street. We're just not as aware of it, and we don't always acknowledge it. But women, we have to acknowledge it. There's no way around it, right? So my point is this: the way you eat can help govern your hormones to the extent that they do what they're supposed to do. The way most of us eat misinforms our hormones. So our hormones are going in these random directions, and you already have these cyclical changes that you're going through. But then to throw vertical, the horizontal chaos in it, now it's all just, I just want to eat anything. But when you do have everything in check from a nutritional standpoint, here's what happens. It minimizes those fluctuations. It reduces the erratic impact of the hormonal changes. Not to say that you won't have those changes. For instance, when my clients are really on their A game, my female clients that is, and they're on their A game, when their cycle comes, I can see it in their stats because their stats will kind of lock for a second. So they won't lose weight, they won't gain weight. They won't lose body fat. They might gain a little bit of body fat because they're carrying more water, but the cycle will just kind of had them at a standstill. And then as soon as the cycle starts to clear out, they go right back to hitting their numbers again. Now, when the numbers are super erratic, it's usually a tell to me that they're not doing what they're supposed to do nutritionally, which is why it always comes back to juicing. If you juice first thing in the morning, juice in the evening, what you'll find is those hormones are a little bit more controlled. If you're having a craving, you'll have a specific craving. Like, you know what? I want peanut butter, which means that you actually need more protein. That's all. It doesn't mean that you got to eat like 20 steaks and all this. It just means, I need a little more protein. And you don't even need that much more. When I train pregnant women, it's the same thing. The mythology is that women got to eat all this stuff because they're eating for two and whatever they want. If it's, bananas and chocolate plus tuna, they got to eat all that stuff. And what it really is like, no, I might just need some more potassium. I need a little bit more folate. I need some protein. Those messages are way clearer when your hormonal signals are flowing, without impedance of bad nutrition.
Awesome.
Is it Mike? Can I ask a question? Because I have one now.
Come on through.
Okay, good. So I like what Shauna Jones is saying here. She says, I weigh 98 to 100 pounds, but I have little to no body fat. Mm-hmm. Does that mean I'm not healthy? But hold on before you answer that, because you're going to say, well, height and all of that plays a role in it. I'm 5'10" and a half. And according to doctors, I should weigh 175 pounds. I have not, or less, like 155 to 175. But the thing is, I'm 5'10". I have muscles. And the thing, when I go in and they see that I weigh 190 to 200, they're like, oh, you're severely obese. But I'm really, like, now I feel it. But that's because I ate cookie dough yesterday. Like, I'm being honest. My cooties here. I can't lie. Like, but it's one of these things where body size and mass are really hard to determine. How does someone like Shauna Jones and I know whether we are in a healthy weight class compared to it being just that height and weight and being told I'm way overweight?
Those are awesome questions, both from Shawana and you. Now, I'll try to hit them both at the same time. So here's the deal. BMI is a garbage, useless stat. I said it. It's a garbage, useless stat. Now, in the grand scheme of things, on the far extremes in terms of being too thin or being too heavy, sure. Take a course, swipe at it, BMI does matter. You don't want to be morbidly obese per BMI standards. That said, all kinds of body types. My body type, I'm not saying I'm the poster child, statue of David, although my first name is David. I'm not the statue of David, Adonis prototype, just lucky name, cool statue associated with it, cool underdog in the Bible, you know how it goes. But that said, I'm overweight by BMI standards. And I tried my hardest just to see what would happen if I got myself to the BMI number that's proper for my height. And what it took for me to get there was me eating on program, me juicing, me doing zero animal products whatsoever, and me actually not even eating and doing nothing but drinking water for 2 days every week. That's not sustainable. Now, what I'll tell you is sustainable is going to your doctor, getting your numbers checked, seeing what numbers are out of whack, and seeing what numbers are in terms of your blood work. Look at your blood work and see what's going on, Shawana. See that, make sure that everything's in order. If everything's in order and your doctor's telling you that you're healthy, then you're good. Some people are just predisposed to not have a bunch of body fat. Some people carry a little bit extra. All right. So BMI is not the number. Now, for you, once you get a baseline that says you're healthy, it's your blood work that's going to determine, Shawana, it's your blood work that's going to determine how healthy you truly are. Even me, when I'm training clients, without getting, I'll get as personal with a client as they allow me to be. And what I tell them, the scale tells us one thing, the body fat monitor tells us another. My true report card annually with my clients is their doctor visit. If their doctor tells them they're healthy, then we're good. If they don't tell them we're healthy, then we adjust. So start with the doctor first, see your doctor with regularity, and then go from there. Because I've had clients who indeed their whole concern was not even trying to lose weight, but trying to gain weight in a healthy way. So if you don't have a bunch of body fat, that's not a big deal. Count it as a blessing, because I make a whole bunch of money trying to get people to be in the position that you're in, Shawana. But that said, see what your doctor tells you. And again, as far as BMI goes, I don't even pay attention to BMI. But what I do pay attention to, if indeed I need to lose weight, is my body fat percentage. So if indeed my body fat percentage is, as a man, if my body fat percentage is above 10, I'm always trying to work it close to 10. And I mean, again, that's per the standards of the numbers of the tools that I'm using. All right. I
saw a video on, yes, I'm gonna say it on TikTok. I want you to bust the myth, because and I think a lot of people have heard that starch is bad for you, and you will pick up weight with that. But now the TikTok says that you will not get fat with not starch, carbs. You will not get fat if you eat carbs. So what is the truth? Because there's so many things out there that you do not know. Am I allowed to have baked potatoes? Am I not allowed to have baked potatoes?
Right. So it all depends on where you're starting from, A, and what your objectives are, B. Generally speaking, what gets confused is people just say carbs as if it's, and when you say the word carbs, a lot of us, the first thing we think about are starchy carbs. So you can scientifically deduce legitimately that carbs are good for you, because they are. Matter of fact, you know what has carbs running all through it? Vegetables. Vegetables have carbs in them. But when you think carbs, you're thinking bread, pasta, rice, right? So vegetables have carbs in them. So, and that's why I always advocate eating a plant-based diet, not even because I'm a vegan, but because vegetables typically have pretty much everything that a human being needs to eat. I was having this conversation this weekend about how someone hit me to this, and I never thought about it till they said it. Brett was talking about lions, right? And the reason lion poop stinks so much is because they eat a lot of meat. If you look at a lion's teeth, most of them are very sharp. You look at a human being's teeth, we've got 4 teeth that are that sharp, meaning that 4 of our 32 teeth are even designed to really rip through flesh, while the rest are made to grind through vegetables. So if you take that ratio, 1/8 of your food should be, generally speaking, animal source. The rest should all be plants. But if you're a shark, all your teeth are sharp. What you eat is flesh. Okay. So carbs are necessary, but they're not as necessary as we make them prevalent in our typical diets. And most of the carbs that people eat are starchy carbs. So it's really like understanding the definition of the word carb, understanding what someone means when they say carbs. So you could argue theoretically that carbs won't make you fat because vegetables won't make you fat, right? But if you eat bread, those carbs, those starchy processed carbs, or starchy carbs in general, even natural starchy carbs like potatoes, you have to be judicious about those, because what happens is carbohydrates metabolize in your body and they become glucose. Just like a candy bar metabolizes in your body and becomes glucose. They may come from different sources, but your body ultimately processes them the same way. Now, some, because they're hyper processed, they come with all this extra junk, and your body can't deal with it as well as it can with stuff that's natural, but all the same, at the end of the day, if they all become glucose, that means they all become sugar. Anytime you have too much sugar in your system, your body's going to hold onto it for later. Anything your body holds onto for later turns into fat.
Okay. Thank you.
Wow. Kuti, so I'm trying to find how you said it because I said it wrong before. You give the 3 pillars, 3 like inspirational things. I'm trying to find my note because you gave it to us.
I got it right here. You're talking about the super.
Tell me.
Super foods, super facts, and super moves. The superfoods are foods that get you there in a hurry. There's a lot of healthy food out there. There's a lot of healthy products out there. But what I talk about are the most natural ways that most efficiently get you where you got to go. Hence, juicing being top of the list and something you'll always hear me talk about. Super facts are the things I just gave you just now. Like I talked to Shawana about BMI and talking to her doctor. Super facts about what a carb really is, and the fact that vegetables do have carbs, but they're still different from potato carbs, which are different from cookie carbs, but your body processes all of it and kind of sends it all in the same direction. And because of that, you look at food that way. Matter of fact, the word food by definition is something that an organism ingests to promote life. If you think about if you think about what you eat from that perspective, and then define it, you'll realize that a lot of what we're eating ain't even food.
Yeah, very true. Very true.
Food. So if you start to look at it from that perspective, that's why we're over inundated with carbs and sugar, and that's why a lot of us are carrying way more fat than we're supposed to.
Kuti, you come on here and you spark us. You get us going. You get us excited. Go on. I see
you going. Super moves. That's the third part of the super trio, right?
Yep.
Each of y'all have a wall nearby. Did you get your homework assignment? You have a wall nearby, Ilse?
I have a wall nearby.
Okay. All right. We're going to do a super move really quick. I'm going to show you. Super moves. What super moves do is they get you where you got to go quickly. So this is a quick fat burner, strength builder, and it's a fat burner and a strength builder. So what I want you to do, let me get my timer. I want you to put your back against the wall, and I want you to get into a squat so that your thighs are parallel to the floor and your knees are above your ankles. You want your knees in the right angle. Anytime anybody watching this, anytime you are in a squatted position or you're using your legs, you want to make sure that your knees are above your ankles all the time. That protects your knees, all right? So what we're going to do here is for 30 seconds, I just want you to lift one knee off just 1 foot off the floor. It doesn't even have to be super high, just maybe like 2 inches. Just lift it off the floor and put it right back down. Ready? Go. Just keep lifting.
Ow.
About 8 seconds. We're going to do it for 30 seconds. Let's keep going.
I'm just reminding Kuti we still here. I think you forgot
And
to
rest.
count.
Rest for 10 seconds. We're going to do this one more time on the opposite leg to keep it even. All right. So rest for 10 seconds.
Just so you know, ladies and gentlemen,
on the opposite leg. All right.
We have Miss Judith Joy coming on in 1 minute, guys. Do not go anywhere. We'll do our sponsorship right after this. Judith, I see you in the background in the green room. I hope you're doing this against your wall.
All right, so back against the wall, thighs parallel to the floor, knees above your ankles. Go. Lift the other leg. Just lift it off the floor and tap it right back down. We're working glutes right now. We're working, which is your butt, ladies. We're working quads, which is your legs, guys. The higher you lift that knee, the more you work your core. Your heart rate's going to go up, so you're getting cardio. You're burning fat. You're getting stronger. Y'all have 10 seconds. Keep going. Do this exercise. Do 30 seconds on one leg. Rest for 10. 30 seconds on the other. Rest for 10. Do that for a total of 8 sets. 4 sets each leg. You all can rest. You can come back to your seats and tell me how you feel.
Me, I feel good. I like squats. I try to do yoga and balance. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I do when I'm at home, I have a standing desk. So I usually do one leg and I'm rotating, stretching throughout the episode. Nobody knows. So to lean against a wall, my balance was right there. I feel my heart rate up.
Good. So you see how your heart rate went up? Ilse, how did your leg feel how did the leg that was on the floor feel when you were lifting the other one?
Well, both of them pained a lot, and I just wanted to put them down on the floor. If I'm going to be honest, I just might as well put it out there. I did not enjoy that.
Okay, so here's the deal. In 4 to 5 minutes, you do that exercise, and you've worked out your legs completely. You've worked on balance. You've increased your heart rate. You've gotten stronger. You've burned fat, just like that. That's a super move. If you want more super moves, you can go to my Instagram page or my Facebook page, and we can. And there's a bunch of them waiting for you right there.
Tell us if Instagram one more time.
Instagram is at Kuti Mack, at KUT as in Tom, I, M as in Mary, ACK. And Facebook is BYBD Fitness. And like I said, if anybody needs the de-stressors, you can get those for free. Just go to bybdfitness.com/de-stress, DESTRESS. And anybody watching, because I just love Java Delight so much, if you want a free 15-minute consultation, just hit me up. Just DM me. Just go to Instagram or my Facebook page, DM me, and we'll line it up. I'll give you 15 minutes to just straighten out whatever's going on with your life, your fitness life, your mindset, your nutrition. I got you.
Thank you so much, Kuti.
Oh, thank you.
I'm writing as fast as I can. Kuti, you are amazing. I really 100%, bro. Like, you come in, you not just teach us, you bring us up, and you get everybody ready for the day. Guys, go get connected with Kuti. Here is DM him for a free 15-minute consultation. If you're looking to follow him and build your best you, find him at Instagram, Kuti Mack, KUTIMACK, or BYBD Fitness on Facebook. Kuti, in 2 weeks, I am going to be here, and I'm juicing the next 2 weeks completely now. So I hope you're ready.
Let's do it 2 times a day. First thing in the morning within 90 minutes, one more time. And if you can, let's figure out a way to get Ilse in the rocking and rolling too.
Yeah, because what I'll do is I'll make it a challenge versus my dad, because he likes to be challenged. So me versus him, and we'll start taking pictures. And he goes to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. Okay. But I literally I want to see him be able to take that type of it and get it to that next level. Because he's too good of a guy.
To that point, because we didn't really quite answer that, so I'll get out the way once I do this. But as he's juicing, what happens is the more the body has what it needs, the more it gets rid of what it doesn't need. So if he's backed up, whatever case may be, and don't worry, folks, it's not like it's going to be something which is going to shoot right through you. You're going to be, running to the toilet every, 5 minutes. It's not that kind of thing. It's going to be actually natural, actually regular. You'll be going to the bathroom like a regular person should. So yeah, you'll be good. And if he has any complications, if he has any questions in the meantime, just hit me up, DM me. I got you.
Kuti, you are 1 in a million. I am honored that you are with us at Java Delight today. Ilse, are you ready to read the bio?
I am reading the bio. And
Kuti, you have a great one, and thank you.
See you in 2 weeks.
Again. See you in 2 weeks. God bless, my friend. Bye, buddy. All right, Ilse, read to me.
We are interviewing Judith Joy. I just love that surname. I have to say that. Judith began studying energy healing and consciousness transformation after her own experience with recurring debilitating headaches. After years of getting no results from traditional medicine, she began researching alternative medicine, which is when she finally found a path to ease her suffering. This awareness led her to 20 years of study and research of how the heart and mind work together. As with many to teach spiritual, intuitive energy consciousness, she too has had her share of trauma and drama, which led her to find a way to change her reality. She then chose to share her knowledge and passion with others. And then, are you excited about this?
I am. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen.
I am.
Well, are you sure? You don't sound as
I am, but you must first put your word from the sponsor on.
Oh, okay, got it.
Hi, my name is Brandon, and over the past year, the Delight Cafe team and I traveled across the U.S. researching this rapidly growing industry of CBD products. What we have found throughout the industry or products that were inconsistent in dosage and used ingredients that weren't even lab tested. Products with chalky textures, bitter aftertaste, and worst of all, confusion among the CBD consumers. That's why we created Delight Cafe. A 15 milligram, lab tested, all natural, water soluble hemp CBD powder pack. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. Add it to your favorite drink of choice, wherever, whenever, on the go. Quickly find your calm, your balance, and your delight when you need it most.
And hello, Miss Judith. We are honored to have you with us today. Is that a real library behind you, or is that a green screen and we're just being fooled? It's a real one. I love it. I love how she did that. She's like, oh yeah, watch this. No movement. Well done.
I've got one of my books here and one here.
I love it. We were looking into your books before the show and really getting into like who you are. And Ilse and I were blown away by you. We love where you're going. We love what you're doing. Her and I have already started talking about, like, she goes, Brandon, we were going through questions we want to ask. And usually we throw a few at each other. But today, Ilse and I were like, oh, I want to ask this and I want to ask that. So I want to start by saying, Judith, thank you for taking the time to be here with us. And thank you for being willing to be a transformation coach to get the best out of people, because that's a tough job. What got you into being a transformation coach?
Headaches.
Oh, look. So you've met some of my family.
Yeah.
So headaches is easy, but were they your headaches, or were they the kids and the family and like significant others that were the headaches and you needed to figure out how to balance yourself?
Well, that's the part that's interesting. To begin with, I went and they said, you have headaches, take Excedrin. And then I went to the Diamond Headache Clinic and they said, here, have some drugs. And that didn't quite work for me. So I went to a Catholic hospital in Indiana and they said, put your husband before yourself. And I went, all right.
They did what?
I'm out.
I don't want to go there.
Yeah, even I'm sitting here going, well, that sounds wonderful as what would be a husband. That doesn't sound equal in any way. Go ahead, Judith. I'm sorry.
No.
No.
No. So I've since gotten rid of him.
And then your headaches.
Being put first. The question is the husband worth being put first? Usually it's no.
The problem is that I had 20 years. I had 20 years of habit.
Yes.
And so I had to break some of these habits. And what I did was I worked with, I went to a chiropractor because I was a dancer. And all the other ladies in the class said, hey, this guy's a great chiropractor. So I'd go to him. And then I noticed he was sharing an office with somebody else. And I kept looking over going, well, what are they doing over there? What are they doing over there? And I finally made an appointment with that chiropractor who had a totally different practice. And she said, there's this guy in the back room and I don't know what he's doing, but he's tapping on heads and people are getting better. So that was Dr. Janer. And I still work with him 22 years later, except now that I'm a colleague. And I would ask him questions and then he'd say, oh, this is the answer because of whatever, because he's really into all the science. Or he'd say, go read this book, talk to this person, read this article, take this class, whatever. And that's how I've done my whole journey. Just followed what interested me. Asked the question, found the answer, asked the question, found the answer.
So with that, there's a little delay, sorry. With that being said, though, first off, congratulations on getting rid of dead weight and the headache. I'll say that.
How do you do that? Sometimes.
You signed your papers yesterday.
No more headache.
With that being said, what are some of the things that you've seen that probably caught you off guard too through being a wellness coach? Something that maybe, like, I say this because as a former youth pastor, the first thing that went through my head is when you said you were in Indiana and they were like, oh, you need to go submit to your husband. I'm like, oh, that sounds like what happened when I lived in Indiana. They were like, just submit to your wife's need. She's having an affair. Why? What needs am I not meeting? Like, so I'm sitting here, and then I got into the wellness stuff. And I remember the first time I ever did anything with CBD to cannabis, I really thought I was like a broken person. I'm like, oh, I'm going to hell. I'm going to be in jail for this and all of this. And now I'm like the total opposite. But that's my experience learning the first stages of wellness. What's some of the things you've learned that you love to teach people to help them get through wellness? Oh, I saw the smile. I love this.
Yes. Okay. There is a huge heart-mind connection. If you think it, you've got the whole gamut of people that's saying, oh, you change your thoughts, you change your life. And in part, this is true. It's more than that. You have to change your feelings about those thoughts. And if you can do that, then the whole world opens up to you. And so many things are possible. And can I teach you something really quick?
You can, please.
Okay. So put your hands in front of you, palms up. You don't want to, let your elbows just sort of rest. And I want you to put the color blue in one hand and the color chartreuse in another. Which one feels heavier?
Blue. But that's because I don't know what chartreuse is.
I just want to say I also don't know what that color is. So I feel
I don't
like I'm
either.
not doing
That's why I picked it.
Oh, we're not supposed to know.
No, because I didn't know and she didn't know. She did that on purpose. Am I wrong? I guess I felt the blue one was heavier because I knew what color blue was.
Okay, so try it again. Put blue in one hand and yellow in the other. Which one feels heavier?
I feel yellow.
I feel yellow.
Okay. Now take all the energy from yellow and pour it into the blue. And take all the energy from blue and pour it into the yellow. And just keep going back and forth, back and forth. At some point, you're going to get a sigh or you're going to feel a little rocking motion. And it's just going to open up and you're going to go, I wonder if it's even yet. Okay. Now weigh them again. Which one feels heavier?
They feel the same now. They feel the same now.
Yeah.
Because they're equal balanced. So
that's how easy it is. That's actually how easy it is to shift the energy. You can shift your feelings about it. So now imagine instead of colors, if you had put in one hand a situation that wasn't working for you, and in the other hand, a situation that was like, oh my gosh, this is better than I could ever imagine. And then you mix it. Then they become neutral. And then at some point you're going, oh, I've got a new idea. I hadn't thought of this before. But you're clearing away everything that's not working.
I like that.
See, that's where my coaching is different because I actually bring the energy piece into it.
Okay. So what caught me is your book about manifesting the perfect love. I think my manifestation skills are broken. As you heard, I've been married 3 times.
Your manifestation skills are
what
never
am I doing
broken.
wrong?
They're always working.
They broke it, I promise you. I've got proof.
No, it depends on what you're thinking and what you're feeling.
How does it work? How does that whole manifesting and I like the part where you say the feeling. How does that work? What can you tell us more about that?
Oh, we have a fancy display up now.
I took over, I saw it on your website. It said, "Are fears limiting your life?" And with Ilse saying that, I had to bring it in from your website and be like, "Are fears limiting your life? Are they stopping your manifestation, Ilse?" And Judith is here to tell us why the mind and the soul are connected, the heart are connected for manifesting. And I'm here to learn because I want to know about how I can get mine, because I swear my manifestation things are broken too.
No, your manifestation is never broken.
Okay.
What happens is that you have a thought, and you've got this thought and you think that this is where you're going, and this thought is working and it's working and it's working. However, if your heart says, "Oh, no, 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 I don't like that thought." If you've got a conflict and they're not moving in the same direction, the heart wins. But most people are not used to feeling, and they're not used to looking at what it is they're actually feeling in their body. So if you're going, "Yeah, this is a great guy for me," and on the inside you're going, oh, it's a conflict. So you can talk yourself into it, and you can create motion with your actions because of your thoughts. However, listen to your gut, listen to your heart, listen to your body. Your body will lead you in the right direction. And you don't have to know 12 steps down the road what it's going to be. You can, but you don't have to. Focus on your feeling right now, and then what's that next better feeling? And then what's that next better feeling? And if you keep going in the direction of your dreams, you're going to get there. And
Okay, so and I've seen a lot that where they say you must write your manifestations down. How does that work? What do we write down? Do you write exactly down what they must look like? How do you do this? How do you manifest the perfect man? Or
well,
a man that is better than the ones you've manifested before? It's not that perfect.
Well, first off, look at why you've manifested what you've manifested. It's working for you on some level. And if you can look at what it is you hope to have by having this guy, like if you want to be in a relationship where you have someone to tell you what to do, and you feel relaxed having someone tell you what to do, perfect. It works for you. However, if your desire is to be in a relationship where you're a total human being and your partner is a total human being, and you just happen to come together and you share experiences, that's a different relationship. So I would suggest looking at you as a total human being and really enjoy who you are. And every time you get that little twinge on the inside, you're going, yeah, something didn't work. Like if you reach for a soda and you feel your body just sort of go, going, the body's not wanting the soda. Okay. So reach for a glass of ice water. No, that wasn't quite it. Reach for a glass of hot water. Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted. And you listen to your body, and it's a different form of muscle testing. I'm sure you've heard of muscle testing where you can stretch your fingers. You can have a circle that you put your finger through. You don't know muscle testing.
Please tell us more.
Okay. Muscle testing is when you're looking for what is making you strong and what's making you weak.
Okay.
It's the same thing as when you have this feeling of reaching for that hot water and your whole body just sort of relaxes and you go, yes, that's it. Or if you reach and you sort of like cringe against it, sort of that sick feeling.
Yes.
That's a type of muscle testing. A very easy way to do it for yourself, until you get used to the feeling.
Okay.
Is you make a circle with your thumb and your first finger on one hand. The other hand, you take a finger and stick it in the circle. Now you're going to try to keep your thumb and forefinger together. So you ask a question or you make a statement such as, my name is Judith. I'm trying now to escape the circle. And you guys are having, don't override it. It's not like something that you have to prove your strength to.
You saw me like pinching as hard as I can. I'm like, don't get my finger through here. Hold still. So, but because my name is not Judith, do I break it or no?
Yeah, it breaks right through because it weakens the muscle. Now try it with your name and see that it's stronger.
My name is Brandon. Oh, that's my fault.
It takes a little bit of time to practice with it, and there's a lot of different ways of doing it.
Well, actually, that helps me lead to my next question with what you're talking about is energy consciousness. Look, we're on air, I and all that, and I am told a lot, like, I have this energy that when it's on, but I don't know how to hone it, that consciousness of that energy. And I feel like I do this to myself all the time where it's like, Brandon, and then I push myself through because I'm not conscious of what I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So how can I become better conscious of self-consciousness?
You want to be more conscious of self-conscious?
That's not the right way I want to phrase it, but it came out like that. I want to be more conscious of my energy and who I am, and being able to know my energy and use it to bettering myself to others.
Okay. First off, consciousness transformation is exactly the same as energy. And it's just applied to life, where energy healing, energy consciousness, and all that is applied to the body. It's exactly the same. Pay attention to your feeling. For example, you're sitting in a chair right now. Can you melt into the chair?
With ease.
Okay, so you're sliding.
I know what you meant.
I'm on pillows. I'm on my pillows, so I can't sink into my pillows.
All right. So if you're on your pillows, take your butt and actually sink. Pretend like you're melting into the pillows or the chair.
Easy.
Now relax your legs into it. Relax your spine. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Take note of what your body is doing in this moment. Just notice what it's doing. Notice the thoughts that are going through your head. Take a deep breath and come back into your body.
I feel calm. I feel like I melted into my chair.
Right.
Me too.
So what you were doing was you were melting away the stress. And when the stress leaves your body, then your awareness can actually increase. And your awareness is what is running the show, basically. But if your awareness is all based on stress, and I have to be aware, I have to, it's not the same thing as walking into a room and just going, yeah, I'm not going over that corner. I don't know why I'm not going to that corner, but I'm not going there.
So it's kind of like when you walk into a room, like I'm going to use an analogy that I think everybody can understand. And you can tell there's been tension between two people there. You feel that energy.
Yes.
It's that same type of thing, but it's realizing it. It's seeing that energy and being able to know where to go and where not to better. Does that sound correct?
Yes. Some people can see it. Some people can feel it. Some people get just this intuitive knowing. Some people can smell it. And it just depends what your skill set is.
With me, I think mine is more I feel it. Like I can enter a room and I feel like I don't want to go over to that side of the room. I don't want to be around this. And I position myself where I don't have to be around certain things because I just don't like the energy that I was feeling.
But that's your intuition telling you not to go there.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Is that's your intuition telling you not to go there? That knowing.
Yeah.
Is what
your intuition
Brandon's
is part of the
talking about.
conversation.
Okay.
And when you have this conversation going, it's not a one-sided conversation. It's not you just telling the world, I'm walking into this room and I'm going to own the room.
Right.
You know, you walk into the room and the room has a conversation with you, and it's coming through your intuition. Now, the same thing can be done if you walk into a room and you're like, all right, I'm going to meet that hot guy tonight. And it may just be the guy for tonight, but or it could be the guy that I really, really like. But if you've been working along the way and you're just like, I know that this person is loving and kind and we're like great human beings together.
Yeah.
And we really support each other. You walk into that room and you're like, all right, your eyes go there.
Mm.
And then that's it. You go that direction. You follow that direction. You follow the inspiration. And it may be that it leads you to a woman. And you're like, huh, what's this about? Don't make a conclusion that you want to be with this person. Don't make the conclusion that this is the wrong one. Because you can walk over and talk to this woman, and oh, by the way, her best friend just walked in the door behind you and is coming to her.
Mm. Mm.
And then you meet him that way. Go ahead.
Is every day, this is going to sound weird, but can you make every day joyful? And is that just a choice, or is that something that it takes a lot of work, and how do you build up to make yourself be joyful daily?
It is a choice, and do not think that you are wrong if you're not joyful every day. It's
Really?
just not part of the human experience. The clue is to know that when you have a feeling, no matter what that feeling is, that you don't have to stay there. You can move from it. You can feel better.
Mm.
So a lot of people right now are way down in the doldrums, and they're like depressed and anxious and shame and blame, and it's everybody else's fault. And, you know, let me deflect from you.
From me.
Well, if you want to stay there, go ahead. It's not going to be your best life, but, you know, it's your choice. Stay there. However, if you want to move up the scale and feel better, then all you have to do is change your focus. Because chances are what you're focusing on is not anything that's high vibe. It's not anything that's making you feel good. What you're focusing on is feeding the feeling of where you're at. So you just get more of that. If you change your focus, then you're able to expand into a different space. And by changing your focus, one of the easiest ways to do it is to be grateful and to look for things that are working in your life. For example, look for things that are working in your body. My heart is beating. Woohoo! It's working. My eyes opened. They're working. You know, you can go off on a tangent of, oh yeah, but I have to put my glasses on, and blah, 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 blah. Whatever. They're working.
Correct. It's always easier to find the excuses, wouldn't you say?
Oh, we've been trained to find excuses. And so now we have to train ourselves to find what works. We have to train ourselves to find things that we're grateful for. We have to train ourselves to go, wow, that was a fabulous day. And what was the best part of that day? Mm-hmm. I've got a rock sitting next to my bed. And I look at that rock before I go to sleep. It's just a rock I picked up at the beach. I look at the rock and go, what was the best part of the day?
Okay.
And then I'm like, oh, okay. Then I go through the day in my head and it's like, oh, that was good. And that was good. Yeah. And I had a really good time there. And that, but what was the best? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So already I've reviewed things that worked for me and then reviewed it again, looking for the best. Mm-hmm. You can write it down if you want. It can be like a 10-second hold your rock and think about it. When my youngest son was really young, we went to the beach and he handed me a rock and it was so sweet. It was a flat rock that you could just rub. You know, some people would call them a worry rock. But he said, this is a love rock because I love you. And I'm like, oh, I still got it. It is 25 now.
Is he the reason? Yep, go with it. Same question.
Is it him that you wrote the book for surviving teenagers?
Actually, no. I have 4 kids.
So it was one of them or all of them?
It was one in particular. She likes to say she's the star of the book. But I gave her equal credit, you know. My first one was so easy and so quiet that I thought, wow, I can do this again and again and again. And what I didn't realize until she was grown up was that she was getting into trouble that I just didn't know about because she was so quiet. The second one, ADHD to the max, he was climbing a ladder at, I think he was climbing a ladder at 11 months. He was running at 9 months.
Jeez.
It's like, so he was all like active, but not a malicious kid. You know?
Oh my God.
Trouble. The third one came along. And I really think there's a connection between what a pregnant woman thinks and how the kid turns out. Because when I was holding my son and my daughter's hand, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. I don't have any more hands. I can't hold any more kids. What am I going to do? I'm going to forget her. You know? Well, she comes out and she's the Velcro child. She is not going to be abandoned. She's like right up next to me. She's 32 now and she still loves to hug me and like, oh, I miss you. I miss you. I miss you. But what happened was she was super, super sensitive. You know, you hear about these highly sensitive people and she's that, but we didn't know it. When she was 3, she asked if my husband, or my then husband, and I were getting divorced. And I said, no, we're fine. You know, life is good. I'm just trying to work it out with 3 kids. And she was like, oh, okay. So basically what I told her, which I didn't realize till later, was you had a feeling and I just told you the feeling was wrong.
Okay.
So over the years, every year she would ask us if we're getting divorced. And we were like, no, 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 no. Well, her anger from being told she was wrong grew and grew and grew and grew. So finally, when she was 13, I sent her to a treatment program for depression and anxiety. And when she was gone, I could finally see what our relationship was between my then husband and I. And I went, oh yeah, this isn't working. And then when she was 14, we told her we were getting divorced. So from 3 to 14, she had a feeling that we weren't honoring. But she had the habit of thinking that she was wrong, but knowing she was right. But the world is telling her she's wrong, and the anger is building, and she's depressed because what's being said and what she's feeling isn't matching up, and all this other stuff. So long story short, high school is difficult. She does not spend it at home. She's at the treatment center, or she's at a boarding school, because along with all of her depression, anxiety, she was yelling at me all the time. And it wasn't just teenage yelling. It was like explosive. And I'm like, I can't do this. But while she was gone, I took the opportunity to learn as much as I could about all the energy healing and all of the consciousness transformation. And she gets up to 21 and says, hey, Mom, none of the stuff that I was doing before worked. I've tried the pharmaceuticals, they didn't work. I've tried the therapy, it didn't work. I've tried this, that, and the other thing, it wasn't working. Teach me what you do. And it was like the heavens opened up, and I'm like, woohoo! My kid asked for my advice.
I love that. Great reaction. Perfect. Sorry, go ahead. I interrupted you.
So the first thing I did was I taught her how to be grateful. So she would practice gratitude for a half hour a night. And if it was a bad night, an hour a night. And now she does it all day long. And she took herself from depression and anxiety to one of the happiest people I know.
Really?
Can I ask, how do you teach your children to be great, to show gratitude? Like you said, for an hour, what did she do? What did she do to do that? Because I've got a 13-year-old son, and is he close by? He's a brat. He knows it. So, yes, you heard me. and I there's so many times where I feel that he's not ungrateful, because he's used to not having a lot. He's used to being brought up with a little, but still show gratitude and everything. But for anybody out there, how can we teach our kids? How can we let them show gratitude?
Well, how did you start teaching your daughter?
Yes,
I want to.
Well, I started teaching my daughter way too late. But in the process, I've taught my granddaughter starting when she was 2.
Perfect. Okay. All right, so start them young.
Start them young. Start by being grateful yourself and saying it out loud. When you're driving and you merge onto the highway, thank you, Divine, for that easy merge. When the guy in front of you puts his signal on, thank you, Divine, for having him put his signal on. And you just start this conversation and you keep it going and going and going. You can be making dinner. Whoa, I am so grateful that this stove is working. And you just start talking and you start being grateful. And pretty soon the feelings of gratitude will follow. At the beginning, it's just words. But then the feeling follows. And then it just sort of seeps its way into the household. And you can be sitting at dinner and say, please pass the salt. And your son passes it to you and going, wow, thank you so much. I really appreciate that little bit of extra help. They're going to look at you like you're crazy. Do it anyway. Now, if your kids are little, then you can, I was babysitting for my 2-year-old granddaughter, and my daughter had another baby, and my other daughter called, blah, 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 whatever her issue was at the time. And I was like, okay, time out. You need some gratitude right now. What are you grateful for? And she would say, okay, I'm grateful for this. What are you grateful for? I'm grateful for this. What are you grateful for? I'm grateful for this. By the time I got done with the phone call, my granddaughter at 2 was saying, I'm grateful for things. I'm grateful for the ceiling. I'm grateful for the computer. I'm grateful for the, whatever.
I love that, though, because it's so young and it's putting that mindset in at such a young age. Now, it's not saying that you started too late. Do you see your daughter bringing that into her children's lives?
I have 2 daughters. The first has children, and yes, she's bringing it into their lives. Shoshana, the third child, does not have children yet and is looking for a husband, if you know anybody.
Teach her to manifest one. Teach her to manifest one.
Oh, she's working on it, believe me.
He doesn't even see. So, all right, actually, that's perfect segue for me.
There's this nice guy that has a CBD company and that is single. He looks good in a hat and in yellow, and he likes squirrels. See? He's looking good right now.
Okay,
so,
but the thing is,
go ahead, Judith. I'm sorry. I have a question.
Put it out there.
Okay, so I'm going to have fun with this one. Here we go. So, dear future lover, bring your future boyfriend to life. And my favorite part of your bio on this is that your book boyfriend, how you can manifest your book boyfriend. So I read this and I hear this. I don't really want to manifest my book boyfriend. I don't really want to manifest. I don't know where to go with that one, but I'd like to manifest my partner that balances me, that I don't want to say completes, because I have to complete myself. How do I manifest your daughter? That's just for the joke.
Someone that compliments you.
okay.
Yes. Now that I got to put my hand over my face with like shame that I made that joke. Judith, for real, how do I get to have my manifestation of the perfect significant other, or Ilse's significant other?
There are many, many ways to do it. This book was my journey of how I manifested my current husband. And I did it through journaling. I actually saw just an article somewhere that talked about journaling your future. I'm like, okay, I'll try that. So I pulled out a journal and I started writing letters to him as if he was already here.
I only do that because my dad. Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Go ahead.
I gave this tip to my dad, and I didn't even know you yet. I was reading your bio. Maybe you just spoke through it, but like, my mom is on a vacation with her aunt right now, or my great aunt, and my dad's at home alone while I'm traveling for work. And we were talking last night, and he goes, I just want to let you know that if anything ever happened to your mother, I'd be lost as can be. And my response back was, and I love my dad, I really do, but my response back was, well, then why don't you take a moment to journal what you're missing about her now? Like, why do you feel alone when she's not home? Like, you could call her, all these other things. And he goes, well, why would I do that? I go, because it's showing the love that you have for mom just for her not being here, not when she's gone. And he was like, okay. And I go, it's her love language. You're literally connecting with mom without her even knowing you're connecting with her.
Yeah,
and he was like,
so right.
And I was like, it's just, you're saying this, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I think that's funny, because the advice I gave my dad, I should have just shut up and listened to myself.
But also, your dad then has a letter that he can hand to your mother saying how much he loves her.
Mm-hmm.
And
And that was
really
exactly,
special. You don't
especially
have
because
to wait for the eulogy to tell the world how much you love them.
that is almost verbatim what I said to him, because I was like, we've had 2 recent passings in my family. So it was a way of saying, like, Dad, that feeling of aloneness, that's mom filling you. That's mom's energy that keeps you going. That writing these down for her shows her your appreciation, your respect, your love, and where she is. Doing that when she's alive shows her how much difference it is for you and her and what she's meant to you. Yeah. And I just said, take 10 minutes. Instead of turning on the stupid TV or looking at TikTok, I swear to God, my dad is the biggest TikTokaholic. And I'm like,
following me.
I shouldn't tell him that, he will. But like, you have these situations, you have these things. And instead of taking that moment to be distracted, take that moment of you talking about this person you love so deeply and write about them.
Right.
And write to them.
With this journaling that you're doing for your future, you're writing about it ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
And be careful, because what you write about is what you're going to get. And it's not always in the way that you think it's going to turn out. In one of the letters, I said, I don't know if you're into politics, but I'm not. It's just not my thing. And it was just an offhand comment. Politics are my current husband's soap opera. He loves it. And it's on all the time. And I'm like, oh.
You start disconnecting the Wi-Fi.
Who is so incredibly kind. And I set out and I told the universe, my next husband's going to be a chiropractor. Guess what? My husband is a chiropractor. And I call him my naked chiropractor because I can wake him up at 2 and 3 in the morning and say,
crack your back, lady.
I've got really bad headaches. Can you do anything? And he will get up and he will adjust me.
Really?
He is so kind.
At 2 in the morning?
Oh, yeah.
He cracked the back.
Yeah.
So, I have to be honest, he is a saint for that. Like, if you wake me up at 2 in the morning, the way your back's getting cracked is me pushing you off the bed. I mean,
well, you're going to need a chiropractor after that. At 7.
He can fall back asleep. Now, as part of my wedding vows, he actually put in the wedding vows that he will not wake me. Because I'm much like you, Brandon.
Oh, yeah.
Unless there's blood, don't wake me.
And it has to be a good amount of blood. Like, we're going to the hospital amount of blood.
Yeah.
Like,
for the potential for a really lot of blood. You know?
Yes, exactly. See, Judith and I get each other. We're in this.
Yeah. But you know, if I wake up in the middle of the night, most of the time I'm not going to wake him because I have a headache. I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to do my melting, or I might take some aspirin. I might get something to eat. I might do some stretching, you know, whatever. I might even just sit and read a book and I'll go back to bed. So I'm not going to wake him up for that. But if the headache is really bad, I'm going to wake him up. Yeah. You know, and luckily, I'm not getting the daily headaches anymore. So that is so nice. Like this morning, I woke up and I was feeling great. And I did some preparation for my workshop that's coming up next Wednesday. Let me tell you about that as soon as I'm done. But I was doing some prep for that. And then my husband woke up and I jumped into bed and I'm like, hey, how's your day going? My day's great. You know, I'm going to be on Java Delight. And I'm like, woohoo, you know. And then I had this random thought go through my head. I was told that bananas would give me a headache, and I didn't have, or I had a banana yesterday, but I didn't get the headache. So where's the headache? Boom, there it was. And I went, wait a minute.
You give it to yourself.
No. If I thought this headache in, I can think it out. And so
Get
I
out.
stopped It's exactly what I did. My meditation was, no, this is not going to work for me. And I am going to feel good no matter what I eat. And I'm going to be healthy and my body's going to feel great. And da, 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 da. And then I melted into that. And then I used the hand balancing and 20 minutes later, no headache.
Really?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us what about your, you mentioned it. You said you were going to talk about it right after it.
Oh,
The workshop. Thank you.
Yeah, I've got a workshop coming up. It's possible because most people don't even realize that whatever they want to create is possible. Even if it's that 15 minutes that you want to have to yourself, like without the kids hanging on you, it is possible to have that. If you want a singing career, it's possible. You know, some people might have to put more work into it than others, but it's possible. If every possibility exists, it just depends on which ones are you choosing. So the workshop is going to help you with the process. It's a 4-step process, and it's really easy to learn. The hardest thing is to remember to do it. Super, super easy. Just put my website up.
Oh, I was trying to put your Facebook page so people could follow you really quick. Just a link so people could follow you. Sorry about that.
But here's the really cool part. Right now, we are in the middle of a 48-hour flash sale. There are very limited seats available for this workshop because I want to keep it small and intimate. I don't want, 100,000 people. Small and intimate. And I am offering a free coaching session when you purchase the workshop. Now, here's the really crazy part. The coaching sessions are normally $225. The workshop is $149. So for less money than the coaching, you get the workshop and the coaching. So to find that, you go to yeswithjoy.com/build-your-workshop/.
Boom. And then yes with your joy. And then /. Yes with joy. I'm sorry. Yes with joy. I wrote it right in the one thing, but not the other. And then tell us that again. And I'm typing it all out so that way I can have it be a click link for everybody.
Okay. Yes/build-your-workshop/. Now, the free coaching applies to whoever gets into the class, and then you'll give your email. And if you don't make the class, I'll let you know when the next one is.
Perfect. Guys, go sign up. What a value, too. That is really awesome. You're actually saving. If you sign up for the workshop, you're going to get the workshop and a class, a free coaching session. That's usually a $225 value, Judith just said. So guys, go sign up, save some money, but being able to find that joy in your life, that positivity that's deep down inside all of us. Now, Judith, I hope you're ready. This is the fun part of the show, okay? You ready? It's rapid fire time, all right? So what we do is we actually end each show with positivity. Brett has an echo. What we do is we end every show with positivity of like speaking truths into our audience and love. So what I do is I make Ilse go first just because she's the one that's right below me and it makes it just easy. She's going to give us a quick inspirational thing about the show, to her favorite quote, to how pretty you look today. It might be even, Judith. And then Brett will go. I will go, and then you're going to close us out for the show today by ending the final positive thing to get us, it is Wednesday, so you're helping us get over the hump of the week and finish our week positively. Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Ilse, take us out, sweetheart.
Let's be grateful. I love that part of the interview where you actually teach yourself to be grateful, because I think a lot of people, with what is going on in the world and just with people in general, we tend to look at the negative and the problems and not and worry about solutions, how we're going to get out of this, how we're going to sort this out. It's just issues and everything. Let's be grateful today for everything. Grateful for opening our eyes, grateful for our children, grateful for signing some long overdue divorce papers, grateful for going on our trip, grateful for Jaybird and my donations that he's given me, grateful for Sherry, grateful for everybody on the show bringing it and giving us a platform to talk on. I'm grateful for all of you, and I wish you a happy hump day.
Okay, so I'll go back to kind of what we were talking about earlier, where dis-ease causes disease. So look for ways to de-stress and avoid distress and become at ease with who you are, and congruent, and life and health will continue to get better.
Well said, buddy. Well said. Guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in today. I have to be honest, this is a great show. Joy is something so many people search for, but the search is just part of the journey. It's being able to take that time to reset yourself, be with yourself, and know that only you can find your joy. Judith comes in and teaches us that today in many ways. And with her workshop that's coming up, don't waste your time. Go sign up, because that's an investment in yourself. That's a form of self-love. And it's a form of being able to know that you're putting your best foot forwards for you. For today's episode, I want to thank everybody who joined and everybody that's joining our community and being such a huge part of it. Without you guys, this is just Ilse and I sitting here having a conversation and making fun of Brett, and we don't need to do that. At the end of this all, guys, connect with Judith, because the only one that's going to be able to bring you the biggest happiest in life is yourself. So learn who you are and connect with those who build up the ones around you. Judith, thank you for being on today. Take us out.
All righty. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And it was wonderful talking with you. Everybody who has been listening has been focusing their attention on what it is that they hope to have. If it was from Kuti or myself, or even Brandon or Ilse, you're focusing forward. And you're focusing on what it is you would like. You're not focusing on the problems that you had before. So keep focusing on what it is that you would like, what it is that you would like to have in your life, the experiences, the feelings. Where you focus is what you get.
Judith, amazing. Thank you for being a part of our cafe today. You truly brought the energy. You brought the spark to get us over the hump of the day. I actually am very intrigued and will be looking into your book about manifesting my future partner. And if it's your daughter, congratulations. At least you met me already.
Well, she did say that he's just going to show up.
Now, wait, what state are you in? I'm in Texas right now. What state are you in?
Right now, Illinois.
Oh, I have to go back up. I'm not going through Illinois anytime soon.
We'll take a detour.
Not.
This is a manifestation. Drive to your manifestation.
Judith, how old is your daughter? Didn't you say she's like 21?
32.
I'm 38. That's perfect age.
Perfect.
See? I
Your
own my
daughter's gonna
own
be so upset
company.
that you're setting her up on the show. She's gonna be like, Mom,
You're gonna be like, just watch the last 4 minutes, okay? That's all you need to know. Tell me if he's cute. I'll send him an email to drive this way after he leaves Texas. Guys, what a great episode. Judith, you are welcome back to the Delight Cafe anytime. Please, guys, go subscribe, go love on Judith, and make the best of today, because you're the only ones that are going to. Make your day your best, all right? Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
Love you.
Love you. Oh, I love it. Love you. She did it.